Security policy is absolute. So for every transaction, we want to apply the security policy. So we're going to inspect all the inbound and outbound traffic. We're going to inspect HTTP, FTP over HTTP, native FTP, apply all of the malware protection rules. But you may want to make decisions to not scan certain URLs or URIs. Now, when you make a decision not to scan traffic, it excludes it from both the malware protection and the advanced threat protection. Within advanced threat protection, we have all of our botnet control, malicious content protection, as well as fraud protection, and the Zscaler page risk score to identify whether or not traffic should be allowed based on the score Zscaler has created for the content, where the user came from, where that page links to, the age of the website, where that website is hosted, and we create this dynamic page risk score. So it's the content of the page and where that page links to that enables us to build this score and the tolerance for risk the organization has for that. So the default is 30. And so that says we have a 30% confidence that this page is not malicious. Or, look at it the other way, if the score is 100, we have 100% confidence that this page is malicious and therefore should be blocked. And so the tolerance for risk is the customer's decision of how much of the score Zscaler provides do they believe is risky or not. Firewall rules, similar to web proxy rules, have the same rule order, top down first match, the admin rank, which administrators are able to administer this rule. So administrators of equal or lower rank can manage the same rules. The rule name, the free-form name for the rule, again, enabled or disabled, and the rule label is those predefined labels for those rules. The rule is applying for the standard or the advanced firewall. The decisions are based on standard, which is the port-based rules. Port 80 is HTTP, and the predefined rules come from the resources tab, or the advanced policy based on DPI. So looking at the first magic bytes of the traffic, seeing a get means that it's HTTP, and we can identify that and pass it to the HTTP proxy. The rules and criteria for firewall are then logically ANDed together across each of the different sections. So we make a decision based on first set of criteria are user and device based. Users, groups, departments, locations, location groups, the time, the devices, and the device groups. So we OR all of those together. So it's a user or the group or the department. We then logically AND those transactions with the services or the service groups. So the service are the layer 4 services. So the standard firewall, port 80, port 443, port 3389 for remote desktop. The application rules are the layer 7 definitions. Applications or application groups. And then the source IP are the source IP groups defining resources or specific source IPs. And the final criteria is the destination IP group defining resources or specific IPs, and then you can also apply based on the country or a URL category. So I build a rule that are logically ANDed together between the who, the where, the services, the applications, the source IP, the destination IP to build a complex rule that will then trigger. The actions when those rules trigger might be allow, obviously to allow the transaction, block drop, which is a silent drop of that traffic that may result in retransmissions from the client. A block ICMP means that the client receives an ICMP port unreachable, which might be equal to a drop for, say, UDP traffic. A block reset is the client gets a TCP reset, which forcibly closes the connection, but obviously means that the client knows there's a firewall in play. If it's not TCP, they just get a straight drop, so UDP retransmissions may occur. And then you make a decision based on logging. So full logging for non-HTTP, HTTPS traffic, all of the transactions, or aggregate, so transactions are grouped together and periodically logged.